Hello next-gen gamers from around the world, this is Archimedes, the video game enthusiast from Germany, with another thought-provoking video. Alright guys, the next-gen consoles are only out for a few weeks and already the talk has started about a PlayStation 5 Pro, and that's because Sony filed in a new patent. But listen, I don't think that every patent that either Microsoft or Sony is filing in is a direct hint towards a new iteration of a console. That is just some media sites trying to create headlines, cause obviously Microsoft and Sony are working on new hardware. They have hardware teams and they are not unemployed right now, so of course we will see every once in a while a new patent coming in. And that narrative about either of them having to bring out an enhanced console as soon as possible is just not factual. We gamers have just received the new consoles and they are both very powerful and closer to high-end PC performance than any other console ever released. So I do hope that we all enjoy the ton of games we get to play right now before Cyberpunk comes out and will end all other gaming activities, at least for me. However, I thought it might be interesting to discuss in this video the idea of enhanced consoles down the line in a few years, and that's why I will take a look on why these enhanced consoles were introduced in the last generation, and going off of that we will look on whether it makes sense to have enhanced consoles during this current generation of the Xbox Series consoles and the PlayStation 5, and what those consoles would mean for us gamers. But before we go through all of that, I want to ask you for a favor. I put a lot of work into my videos and I try to grow my channel, so if you think you are enjoying what you see, then please consider to hit the like and subscribe button and turn on the notification bell to not miss out on future content. All of this does not cost you anything and is completely anonymous by the way, but it helps me more than you think. And if you know someone who would enjoy this kind of content, please feel free to share it out. I really do appreciate all the support. And now let's talk about whether enhanced consoles during this gen would make sense or not. So back in 2013, when the last consoles launched, the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, the overall reception was that those consoles were both underpowered. Especially on the CPU side, both Sony and Microsoft relied on the Jaguar CPUs, which were not state of the art in the PC space in 2013. So both consoles were basically low to mid-tier PCs at the time. And as the generation progressed, something else happened, and that is a giant leap in display technology. 4K screens got introduced, increasing the resolution on our display significantly and hence providing us better image quality. Along with that, HDR was introduced in the TV space, giving us the possibility for broader color gamut and better contrasts. And while HDR does not really require more computational power, it needed HDMI 2.0, which neither of the base consoles supported. And besides that, of course, the technological advancements on the CPU and especially the GPU side in the PC space has advanced significantly over the years. And that's why Sony and Microsoft introduced the new concept of enhanced consoles. We have seen in previous generations iterations of consoles like the PS3 Slim or the Xbox 360 Slim and so on, but those consoles only differed in hard drive size and package size, not in actual technical specs. So 3 years after the PlayStation 4 launch, Sony introduced the PlayStation 4 Pro, and simultaneously Microsoft announced their enhanced model, the Xbox One X, which came out 1 year later. The new consoles promised us full compatibility towards the base machines, basically no exclusives to the PlayStation 4 Pro or Xbox One X, but both consoles promised an increase in resolution and graphical fidelity, so what we basically got is an upgrade on the GPU side. And to be frank, I was a little disappointed in 2013 when the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 launched. It really did not feel like a generational leap, and the increase, especially on the graphics side, we got from the enhanced consoles felt a lot more like a new generation. Games like Assassin's Creed Origins, which was a launch title for the Xbox One X, looked insanely good on the new enhanced machines. But both enhanced consoles still relied on the old Jaguar CPUs, which was probably the biggest criticism for the enhanced consoles. The consoles still relied on the old CPU technology, and with that on 30 frames per second gameplay for most of the games. But it probably would have made compatibility towards the base machines a lot more complicated if they introduced multi-threading and with that 60 frames per second gameplay on consoles. Okay, so it made sense to introduce these enhanced consoles in 2016 and 17 respectively because of the progress in display technology and of course because of the progress in GPU technology. So if we look at the current generation of consoles, the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5, we have to say these consoles are a lot more powerful when compared to the PC space than the consoles were back in 2013. Like I said before, the current gen consoles are more like high-end PCs, and besides that they are very well balanced. They have state-of-the-art CPUs and GPUs, they have very fast SSDs, they have enough memory and high memory bandwidth, and so on. And yes, there is a delta in between the specs of the two systems on paper, but neither of them is underpowered. And again, they are very well balanced without a specific bottleneck. And that removes one argument for enhanced consoles. The consoles are not bottlenecked, they are state-of-the-art unlike the 2013 consoles. So what about display technology? Both consoles again support the state-of-the-art display technology, and you have probably seen that discussion around HDMI 2.1, which allows consoles to support 4K resolutions at up to 120 frames per second, and even things like variable refresh rate are supported, at least from Xbox right now, but apparently the PlayStation 5 will get an update to support that somewhere down the line. So is there really something on the horizon in the display sector that would justify an enhanced console in, let's say, 3 or 4 years? Well, some would probably argue about 8K, but let's be frank here, that is far out, and to be completely honest, I'm not sure if that is the direction we should go for. With 4K displays, the pixel density on our screens is already super high, and I'd rather see the computational power and resources that are required to support 8K invested into better visual effects and simulations and physics. So at the moment there's really nothing on the horizon on the display side that is not supported by the Xbox Series consoles or the PlayStation 5. Okay, so the two main arguments for the enhanced consoles in 2016 and 17 do not really apply to the current generation of consoles. Now, would it make sense to have, let's say in 2023 or 2024, a PlayStation 5 Pro or an Xbox Series Super Duper X or whatever it will be called? Well, technology progresses faster than the regular 7 to 8 year console cycle. Just look for instance in the smartphone sector. Here we are supposed to buy a new phone every year or every second year. If you look at the PC space, the graphic cards or the CPUs from Intel, Nvidia, AMD and so on, they get big updates basically every year, and they are introducing a lot of fantastic new technologies more or less every year. Like only 3 years ago, ray tracing was introduced on the Nvidia cards. They also introduced DLSS, meaning AI machine learning, that allows for many great applications like upressing from low-res images and a ton of other applications that developers are only starting to use. And here's the thing, not both current gen consoles support that technology. On PlayStation 5, machine learning is missing, and for both systems this technology will improve a lot in the next, let's say, 3 years. So GPU technology progresses a lot faster than the 7 or 8 year console cycle. Same goes of course for the CPU technology, the memory bandwidth and speeds and so on. And especially as a hardcore gamer who invests a lot of time and money into my favorite hobby, I do not want to fall behind as much anymore in the console space when compared to the PC market. So new technologies that will be introduced in the next year or in 2022 and so on shouldn't be implemented in the console space in 2027 or 28 in my opinion. This will hold game development back. One good example for me is for instance ray tracing. That technology got introduced in the high-end PC space a couple of years ago, but since it was very niche, developers didn't have the time or budget to really optimize ray tracing algorithms. But now, since the mass product, the gaming consoles support that technology, we will see a lot of advances with ray tracing in the next few years. And I want to see that happening to a lot more technologies that will get introduced over the course of the next few years. And besides that, what really is the argument against an enhanced console in 2023 or 2024? Yeah, we will have to spend again $500 or something like that on a new console. But if a gamer does not want to invest that money again into a console, that's no problem, because he or she gets to play all the games that are coming out on the Xbox Series consoles or the PlayStation 5. The upgrade is optional. So what really is the argument against an option for better performance or graphics? In this day and age where technology moves along so quickly, it is hard for me to think that we will get state-of-the-art games on the current technology technology in the year 2027 or 2028. And for the gamers that really like to invest money and time into their hobby, an optional upgrade in the year 23 or 24 sounds like a good thing to me. And with that, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did so, please do not forget to hit the like and subscribe button as well as the notification bell, and consider sharing this out to other gamers. I would greatly appreciate it. And let me know in the comments below, what do you think about the concept of enhanced consoles? Do you think we will see them in a couple of years again? And besides here on YouTube, you can also hit me up on Twitter, where I share a lot of opinions and gaming discussions. But for now, thank you very much for watching, I see you the next time, and game on!